Hello traders, this is Trader K back again from Trade Like Gann. The topic of today's video is the lunar cycle. It is pretty obvious that I am not going to be disclosing the length or something pretty crucial about the lunar cycle. But what I am going to do in this video is I will be giving you a lot of hints so that you can find the lunar cycle by yourself. So let's get started. The first thing, what the lunar cycle is not, I'm talking about W.D. Gann's real lunar time cycle. It is not the phases of the moon. It is not the phases of the moon. A lot of you, let's say my viewers, ask me this question, that is the phases or eclipses are used in calculating market turns. No, it is not the eclipses or the phases. We do not need that information to calculate future market movements. The next important thing that you need to know to discover the real lunar time cycle is the latitude and the longitude of the moon. So let me ask you a question. Do you know what is the maximum latitude that the moon obtains? So find it out. Maybe that is important, maybe that is not. So have you noticed how the moon moves? I mean the longitude. How many degrees in longitude the moon moves every day, or let's say a week, or let's say in a month. The next important number for the lunar cycle is 27.32. This is the number that we use to calculate the lunar cycle, not 29.5. We are in the Wikipedia of moon. As you can see, we have two different orbital periods. And you can go and check this out, but the important number that you should keep note to find out the real time cycle by W.D. Gann is 27.32. And also this 18.61 years, this is also important, not for the lunar cycle, let's say, but for something else on the book. The next one is in the master stock course. This is freely available on the internet, but you can also find this on the Trade Like Gann website. Let me show you. As you can see, you can download it from here totally for free, or you can also read it online. So let's go back to the stock course. If I come to page number 159, you can see here we have some important information given by Mr. Gann, where he talks about moon. In this place, what he is using the number 29, and also he has used the word around. So you should not be confused. You should not be confused after watching this info, because I already told you the real time cycle uses the number 27.32. The next thing, or let's say the next place we are going to go, is at the tunnel through the air. Though I have given this information before, but still I think in this video it is very important that I discuss this page at least. So on the page number 213, he is giving you hints about the lunar cycle. Okay, he is giving you a number 13,035. Let's do one thing and let's see how many revolutions of moon are there in 13,035. Oops, straight to. It's around 48 or 49, let's say. As you might already know, that the number 49 is very important to Mr. Gann. Here, this 1335 days is pretty close to 49 revolutions of moon. Is it important? Is the 49th revolution of moon is the lunar time cycle? Maybe, maybe not. But he's using this number to give you hints. At least we should analyze these points or numbers. I'm going to give you one more hint on this. Let's say on this quote from the Bible. It is also discussed in one other part of this book. Let's go there. Okay, I have zoomed in a bit so that you can read it properly. We are in page number 372, and as you can see, he has used almost the same quote that was used in page number 213, but here we are getting one more number, let's say 1290 days. Okay, so let's see how many revolutions of moon are there in 1290 days. It's around 47 revolutions. This could be pretty enlightening if you just understand what he is doing with these numbers. Let me give you one more, let's say, enlightening information. W.D. Gann actually pointed towards the lunar time cycle in two sections in this book. I'm not talking about 213 pages and 372 pages. 213 page plus 372 page together, they are one section. I'm talking about some other section where he has given the lunar time cycle directly. Okay, now all you have to do is find out where W.D. Gann is giving you the lunar time cycle, and you have to combine both of those points together. So here you have something to test out. Okay, there are few other information that I think is important so that you can understand the value of the real lunar time cycle. Okay, there are multiple levels of cycles. I'm talking about time cycles. that actually shows what is the next movement of the market is going to be. There are multiple levels of these cycles. In all of those levels, at least I think the most important level is this lunar cycle. Why? Maybe, let's say, I can't discuss all the importance right here, but some of the very important point is, let's say, the lunar time cycle is step 1 into this Gann field. Okay, and then this is also very important to combine other time cycles. When you combine all those time cycles together, you get a pretty powerful system. So the lunar time cycle is actually the most important time cycle there is. And also there are some other information in the Wikipedia that I want to actually show you. The first important subject that I want to show you is nodes. Nodes. Lunar nodes are very important in the Gann field. If you want to understand the whole planetary system, you have to understand the nodes, the lunar nodes. But let me give you this information as well. Lunar nodes are not connected to the lunar time cycle. W.D. Gann's real lunar time cycle. Also, the distance between Moon and Earth is also not needed to make the lunar cycle work in the market. Talking about market, let's hit some charts. As you can see, this is Euro USD instrument, a Forex instrument. Here, these are lunar time cycle pivots. All these turning points or the dates when the trend changes are called the time cycle pivot. You need to know some other informations regarding the lunar time cycle. Let's say roughly around a month, on average, the lunar time cycle will have 5 to 6 turns, or let's say pivots. In roughly 1 month period, there will be 5 to 6 turns, or let's say time cycle pivots. All these points, or let's say dates, from when the market turns to the other direction is called the time cycle pivot. All these are time cycle pivots. Okay, in 1 month period there will be 5 to 6 time cycle pivots for the lunar cycle. It cannot be more than 6, and it also cannot be less than 5. What I am telling you is on average. Let's say when you forecast 3 months of data, so in 3 months you should get 15 to 18 turns. Most probably you will get 15 turns. In any instrument on the earth there is. So it doesn't matter. For every instrument, the lunar time cycle only pivots 5 to 6 times. This is important. That's why I'm focusing more on this topic. And one more thing that I want to discuss here, not every turn is going to be a fantastic high. As you can see here, this was the high, which was not that much higher than the previous low. But when we talk about these high and low pivots, if you just think about 1 second, that if from this point it didn't went down, the candle, I'm talking about this candle, not others, the top of this candle could be here or here, but it's above this low. Sometimes you will hit, let's say, kind of equal. This is allowable, but this is, let's say, 1%. Most of the time it will be higher than the last low. And when I see these type of move in the market, let's say this is the forecasted date, and today we are here on, let's say, 25th January of 2022, and I see the high is like this. It's not very high from the low. This gives me a pretty important and crucial understanding of the cycle. When I see a good move in the downside and I don't see a confident move on the other side, or let's say upside, in this date I'm pretty confident that the market is going to go a lot more down. As you can see, as expected, it went down. Many of you might say that this is past data that you are talking about, but this is also important that I give you the proper information. So to get these type of information, you'll have to understand these things in the past, not the future, because first you learn, then you apply into the market, right? So with this, I'll conclude this video, the lunar time cycle video, but I also want to actually tell you something, that all these contents or information that I gave you are 100% correct and will lead you towards the real time cycle, the lunar time cycle that was used by Mr. Gann by himself. You cannot get it. You cannot get this information from somewhere else. People who will not agree with me, most probably they don't know the real time cycle. You can also use the information that I gave in this video to verify people. So if you don't want to get scammed on the name of Mr. Gann, just use these informations and ask questions. As I already told you, to be a real Gann trader, one must forecast exactly the way W.D. Gann himself did, in high low, with the polarity as well. By polarity I mean on which date high or low is going to occur. So traders, today is 16th February of 2022. So traders, this is Trader K signing out from Trade Like Gann. Visit our official website. It contains a lot of information that might help you. So we will see you again. And as always, have a great day.